All right, welcome back. We're going over functions today and a quick overview of them. To review, we have downloaded and installed Python. We opened IDLE, which is Python's built-in IDE, integrated development environment. We looked over the basics of IDLE. We copied and saved and ran some example code that I wrote. We looked how Python reads through our code by playing the interpreter. And we kind of went over a logic map or a mind map of how the Python interpreter loads with the IDLE. So today, or now, what we're going over is what is a function and how we use them, right? So essentially, functions are blocks of code that we can recall in our code, right? So instead of having to constantly retype something, we can recall it. So like, I have a function here, right? I called it some function, and it passes the variable a. If I wanted to call this function, I would type out its name, and I open and close parentheses, and this one has what's called an argument, which is the a here. An argument is essentially a piece of data we want to pass into our function for it to spit out our output. In this case, our piece of data takes a number, so I'm going to put an integer of 200, and if I hit save and then run, yep. If I hit run, then it's going to tell us yes, because 200 is indeed greater than 100. So what's happening here? Close this. Essentially what's happening here is we have define, which is the DEF. We have define a function, and I called it some function, and it's requiring the argument a, right? A is a variable that our function has, and we can use that variable within our function as much as we want, as many times as we want, however we want, right? So if we take a look at the code we wrote last time, or the one that we copied, we can essentially package this stuff into a function, right? If I hit tab and I hit return, right, to get a new line, and we type DEF space, and we type a name of the function, let's call it number test. Right, this capital T, that's just naming convention, right? You don't have to really name it like that, but it's good to get like a consistent way of naming things. Like variables are named differently than functions, so you can tell them apart differently. But anyway, we're gonna hit DEF, we're gonna type number test, and then we're gonna open parenthesis and close it. And we're gonna end that line with a colon. So now we have this package as a function, right? So if I hit run, you're gonna see nothing pops out. What happened? Well, we need to call our function now. And so we have to type our function name, exactly how it is, and open and close parentheses. And now if I hit run, you'll see it will spit out, it will run the thing and it will spit it out. Now we can call this as many times as we want, right? So I can copy this and I can just paste this 5 times. So let's say we want it to run 5 times. I can hit run module, and it's going to do this function 5 times for me now. So instead of me having to hit run 5 times, or instead of having to type this all out 5 times, I can just package it into a function and call the function 5 times. And now we get 5 different results. That's basically what functions are. I hope that makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, let me know.